On this week's breaking news, 2 gifts with purchase are on their way. LEGO celebrates the 90s with the X-Files and Wallace and Gromit, and it looks like we're getting some LEGO backpacks for this new school year. All that and more on this week's breaking news. Today's episode is brought to you by Brick Bags. If you're like me, you've probably run into the same problem. We love building LEGO sets, but we just don't have the space to keep them all on display forever. So what happens when it's time to rotate them out? Most of us toss the pieces into some random bin or squeeze them into plastic baggies that just don't fit, especially with the instructions. It's messy, it's frustrating, and it's far from ideal. That's where Brick Bags comes in. Brick Bags is an eco-friendly storage solution designed specifically for your LEGO sets, each bag having a clear pouch for the instructions so you always know which set is inside, and a use of a high-quality nylon material. And they come in 4 sizes, from small, perfect for 100-piece builds, all the way up to extra large, which can hold up to 1,500 pieces. They're durable, versatile, and huge upgrades from your usual Ziploc solution. And here's the best part. Brick Bags will be launching their Kickstarter on June 30th. As they hit stretch goals, new colors will be unlocked, so whether you want 1, 2, or 10, you can grab them early and support a project that actually gets how LEGO fans store and sort. Click the link in the episode description to check it out, and seriously, treat your builds better with Brick Bags. Hey everybody, welcome back to Back to Brick. I'm your host Garrett, and this is the podcast where we talk with fellow AFLs about their LEGO designs, and we get down to the breaking news to talk about all things LEGO's been up to for the past week. Thank you all for tuning in, as always, to this week's podcast. As I do every week, I talk about the latest LEGO news, and of course a little bit of admin here and there. First, I want to thank those that are subscribed, and if you're not, please do so over here, as well as on the YouTube channel. I put a lot of things over there, as well as on our Instagram at backtobrick2, and those are with the number 2. And also, I want to thank the patrons over at our Patreon who get the podcast early without ads, so you can become a LEGO stud as well, and go over in the description to join there. On the admin side, I just got back from California this past weekend as there was the open auditions for LEGO Masters, but it was not the most pleasant experience. But otherwise, still working on building some of my own LEGOs. I have the Muppets, Muppet 3D, becoming a new LEGO set that I'm going to put up on LEGO Ideas, and maybe I think you can put on Bricklink, but I guess we'll see when Series 9 rolls around, because there's a bunch of others. And I've started streaming as well over on Twitch, because I build digitally all the time. Why not stream at the same time as me doing that? So that's pretty much it on the admin side. After the breaking news, as always, we'll be having our set reviews. The first one is going to be set 10353, the Williams Racing FW14B Nigel Mansell car, because, well, F1 comes out this weekend in theaters. And then our Rebrickable mock is going to be set 75407 minifigure display stand. So that's for the Star Wars logo by Faraway Bricks. So stick around after the news to listen to all that. All right, let's get into this week's first LEGO breaking news. There's a new collection coming out from LEGO and Herschel. They have this brand new bags that they're coming out with for school, launching on July 1st. Now, there's been some hints, and we've seen some of the LEGO influencers posting about it. So if you're interested in getting a new backpack for this coming year, you can kind of hang out for a little bit, as there's going to be some really fun ones from LEGO coming, so you can get those and just look super stylish. So we don't really know how prices for them, but they only have a picture of a lock on a locker, definitely promoting this, and it looks to be in probably around the same range as what you get for a standard Herschel's backpack for that. But they are going through where you can offer a Legoland Grand Prize trip, so you can go to Legoland theme park with some goodies. The winner is going to win admissions for 2 adults, 2 kids, a stay at the Legoland Hotel, an exclusive Master Builder session in the US for $200 to spend in the Legoland Big Shop. Now, $200 will get you maybe 1 set at this point. Always fun to do some competitions to go to Legoland and enjoy a fun time at the park. LEGO and Bricklink accounts are set to merge. Just in a few months, after Bricklink just turned 25 and LEGO purchased a few years ago, they're going to be merging your Insiders account with your Bricklink account. Bricklink is just designed, really, as you know, to buy, sell, and purchase LEGO sets as well as LEGO bricks, and even make different wish lists and upload your own designs and all that. And you have to have multiple accounts to do that, as well as LEGO Ideas and LEGO Insiders. So it's easier. Let's just merge it all together and make like one system. Does that create security issues? Probably. So maybe they should look into that as well and integrate Lego into one family so that you can enjoy all aspects with just one login. LEGO Ideas has finally released their 90s competition sets. They have the two. The first one is the LEGO Ideas The X-Files. The truth is out there. And I liked this set. It was a pretty fun set where they showed Scully and Mulder's office, and then above them is a UFO in a wooded area. So I'm excited to see what they do with that one. And then the second one was Wallace and Gromit, where we've got them on a tandem or a bike with a sidecar. And of course, got to have Wallace and Gromit on that as well. So those are great call outs for the 90s competition. And I don't know why it took so long, but I'm glad that those were the ones that were chosen. Bricklink Designer Program Series 4, which went through pre-orders 3 or 4 months ago at this point, maybe a little bit longer, are finally shipping to their supporters. So there was the total of 5, the Siege Encampment, the Medieval Seaside Market, Riverside Scholars, Wild West Train, and Merchant Boat. All will be shipped out here shortly for those. Some people have already received them, but if you haven't received them yet, look for them in the next couple weeks. A exclusive Lego minifigure has been put up on auction. Now, we've seen this before where they had George Lucas as a one-of-one minifigure, and there's a new one, Peter Jackson, where it has this really cool printed shirt where it has on the back, it has Hobbit written in the classic Hobbit form, and on the front, it's an open jacket with a dangling ring of power to it, and his face looks just like Peter Jackson and the scraggly black hair. And this is the first time I was ever seen. It was shown by Marcos Bessa over at his Instagram page, who left the Lego group earlier this year. And this is one of only 20, and it went up on auction for $15,000, and it was open for 24 hours. All bids were private, but $15,000 was the baseline, and I guarantee I know who bought it. Whereas the Lego minifigure, I'm looking for you to post about it. It is a fun minifigure, and these kind of exclusive things are definitely up his realm. And I wonder what it actually sold for. I'll have to ask him. But if you have one of the other 19, definitely a way to make some cool cash if you're not looking to keep it around. LEGO Ideas has a new contest out called A Night to Remember in the Shire. Imagine being invited to a birthday party and addresses read The Shire. That's right, there's a special birthday coming up and you're invited. Actually, you're invited to build a birthday party of your dreams and celebrate one of the most beloved pieces of fiction ever made. 2 birds in 1 stone. You can RSVP to the birthday party that you get to design located in Hobbiton. And there's a few prizes, of course. You'll get grand prize winner. We'll get the large Rivendell, the Shire, and the Balrog bookshelf. No Barad-dûr, surprisingly. But then runners-up get a couple things, and then 2 finalists get a book nook. So if you're a big Lord of the Rings fans, there's no builds up right now, and it'll end in 41 days, which is a pretty long time to have these. Usually it's like 30 days. So you have some time to build some fun additions to this and get on those challenges to maybe win something. LEGO does their special magazines from time to time, and they have a new one coming out for Superman, and it'll include 2 different style of tins. One is a rectangular tin with Superman on the front and in minifigure form, and the other is in the shape of the Superman S. Looks like they both have little minifigures inside that can reveal angry face or happy face to it. And the special magazines have done this before, where they've done Vader before, and looking to see future editions might have some other changes, but having these builds, especially as the new movie comes out in the next couple weeks. The LEGO Inside Tour, where you get the behind-the-scenes look at the LEGO group, which is all by lottery base, is celebrating 20 years. So they've created, of course, a special set to capture the iconic bits and pieces of some of the gifts that they've already put out. And there's a total of 6 that we get with this. Some from Oskar Christensen's house, the train, molding machine, the fire truck, which I had, a racing car, and then I can't remember what this one is. It's like someone riding a goat or something. It's 1,912 pieces, but honestly, I still think that the best one is my fire engine, but the memory lane vault is right up there too. and the Lego Factory machines, which came out later in the early 2020s. And there's been some good ones throughout, and some people collect these. And honestly, the 20th anniversary one, I think, is fine. They could have done, I think, something overall as a bigger model instead of the tributes to the smaller models, because there's not much exclusivity to it. And I think that there are far more creative things that they could have done for that. LEGO is celebrating the 50th anniversary of Jaws with a new poster. They already have the LEGO sets, and they put out another video over on YouTube celebrating Jaws, and the poster has Jaws 50 written in bricks, and then you've got a minifigure swimming with Jaws coming up from the depths. I'm excited to see when they'll actually bring this back to theaters, because it's supposed to come back, but there's no official date yet. And of course, I got to go see it. And if they have it at the drive-in, gotta go see it then too. I think it came out in August, but it's a 4th of July movie. And I last year I watched on the 4th of July. It's just like something you should do, is watch it during that time. But if you haven't seen Jaws, go watch it. And it's a really fun poster too. I wonder if LEGO will actually put it out on their LEGO Insiders as rewards. LEGO Ideas 40789, the Flying Moon Car, has officially been revealed. Now, this was a gift with purchase winner from a LEGO contest, and it actually is going to be available on July 1st, but only on the Insiders Center at 2,500 points. So that's nice. You don't have to actually spend at a store to get it. This is, you just pay points. Well, actually, now that I think about it, I guess you can buy whatever set you want. It could be a $5 minifigure, or it could be a $200 set, and you just spend the 2,500 points to get it. It's 212 pieces with 2 minifigures. They've got little, of course, space helmets on and spacesuits as they fly over the moon's surface, headed in the direction of something, because there's an arrow pointing in that direction. It is a really fun set, and definitely something I'll look forward to come July 1st. Another gift with purchase winner from a LEGO contest was revealed, the Friendly Snails. It's a 264-piece set that includes these 2 fun little snails and a little log. The snails have these, of course, the classic 1x1 tile eyes, and you have to spend $160 from July 1st to get this set. So you could get 2 gifts with purchase if you buy something on July 1st with this, as well as using points to get the gift with purchase for those. And there are a few things coming out in July, so it might work up to your alley of spending that kind of money. It's cute. Nothing. I was surprised that this was chosen. Snails are snails, and I don't know where you'd actually kind of want to display this unless you're a huge fan of snails. All right, well, because we talked about the July shopping, let's talk about what we're going to get. In the icons line, we're getting the Shelby Cobra 427 SC at $160 and Toothless at $70. Now, Toothless is weird, and the Shelby is nice. It's just in the blue and white coloring. I wish they would have chosen other colors for that. Marvel, we get the Miles Morales mask at $70. It looks just like the Spider-Man one, just with Miles Morales colors. The Nike Dunk Lego set at $100. Nike shoe with the basketball and written in Dunk with the funny basketball-shaped head minifigure. Star Wars is the Battle Droid with Stap, and it's $140, which I've heard it looks nice. It's a little disproportionate, so they could have done something as a more proportional droid without this the Stap to do it. But that's it. July is pretty small. Usually it comes to August timeframe. September, not as much. August is always big. And then October is the big one, because we get into the holiday season timeframe for that. Someone's created a 7-segment display using servos and Lego to create a really fun display that they can make different numbers out of using Technic axles as they move them forward and backwards. It was designed to, just really show the capabilities using the Geek Servo motors and giving that servo the ability to control how they have the numbers filing through. It's over at Lego Display on YouTube. I'll put the link in the description so you can check out maybe if you want to build one yourself. I've always wanted to integrate servos with Lego in some other fashions, but this is a good start for people that might be interested in doing the same. A few weeks ago, I talked about Lego Island, the game. Came out in 1997. And, you can now play it again. You can now go online and be able to play this really cool classic game. Thanks to Reset Era user dupes, they've dropped it where you can find out some of the wonderful ways to play this game, really live up to that nostalgia of the Lego Island experience. If you weren't around during that time, highly recommend you check it out, because then you can check and see how we got to play video games back in the day. There's a alleyway in London that is getting transformed by Lego. The Story Street in Newham has been abandoned for a very long time on the east side of London. So what are you supposed to do with that other than ask the Lego Group to donate bricks to help change that area? And the Lego Group has donated over 20,000 bricks to help rebuild that alley into something more for kids. Throughout August, kids will be welcome to access the enclosed alleyway, which also features a range of play materials such as paint, fancy dress, and cardboard for sculpting. And it's led by the Discovery Children's Story Center in the area, where they want to really rebuild a disused alleyway on their premises and really have fun with having kids play and enjoy the area more so than, well, it's ever been. The CEO of the Discovery Children's Story Center said it's a really quiet back street that was unloved and unused. This feels like an amazing opportunity to create a space that inspires play and imagination. And I would say I'd agree as well. It's a wonderful use of an area that has been underutilized, and now it can be used for play. So with the conflict that's been happening in Iran and Israel, it seems that the Israeli state media decided they would use a very strange Lego propaganda style video talking about their victory over Iran. It was very strange, showing Donald Trump as a minifigure and Netanyahu as a minifigure screaming at each other, and then rockets firing down. I don't know if they used AI for this or they had somebody do that, but really, really bad way to talk about Lego, because, well, Lego does not involve itself in any war or violence like that, and just very strange. Something that I did not see coming out of this conflict was Lego being involved in it. Lego's tribute to Jane Austen book, which was a gift with purchase this past week, has sold out in the United States. That's a pretty aggressive. I didn't expect it to sell out, but some of these gifts with purchase are very popular, and this one seems to be that. Jane Austen is an amazing writer, was an amazing writer, and having this as a little Lego tribute, I think, has called out to a lot of people that already love Lego to enjoy their books with this as well. The Lego Group is celebrating. After 3 years, they have had zero waste to landfill. Last year, they had 96% of water generated in production was reused, recycled, and recovered without incinerating or giving to landfill. So that is pretty crazy that they've been able to do something like this. Their zero impact and operations aim is really focused on changing all of that and making sure that every waste is filled. Well, every landfill is unfilled by Lego. They have different unique approaches where they use different wastewater solutions to recycle during the raw material processing and packaging and all of that, to make sure that they're continuing to reduce and reuse as much as possible. So congratulations on 3 years, and let's keep it up for the next 4,000, however long Lego will be around. And that's all we have this week for this week's breaking news. Thank you all for tuning into the podcast. As always, make sure to subscribe, leave us a review. So now let's move into our set reviews. Our first set is set 10353, the Williams Racing FW14B and Nigel Mansell. It's an 18+ set. It's 799 pieces. You'll get 520 insiders points for it. It has 62 reviews at 5 stars. It's part of the Icons line, and it'll cost you $80. Now, the driver, Nigel Mansell, was a legendary F1 driver, and so they had to embody it in his car, the Williams vehicle, which they had built up for years. And if you've ever watched the show, it kind of, well, it disappeared. The Williams NAM, they didn't make it through some of the tougher times, so they sold the company. And this was a great embodiment of that. They already done one for Senna, and having this shows, of course, the minifigure with the trophy, as well as a plaque with his signature and kind of his iconic quote. The car itself is part of the Icons, so it's a little bit larger, but it has the classic style of F1 that was back in the day, not as like drastic and crazy as we see them now. It does have a steering wheel that does turn the front wheel steering columns. One thing I do like that they've changed, the rear wheels are far larger than the front because that is how F1 cars are. And you can still reveal the engine section in the back, seeing that they use Technic bricks to create that. And of course, the stickers. I do like that they have a base stand that tilts it forward so it displays a little bit better on a shelf instead of just lying flat, showing the details on the top section of it. And for any F1 fan, this is a classic, someone that was so impactful in the F1 community. To be built into a Lego form is really cool. And if you're going to see the F1 movie, this is a fun weekend build as well, after or before you've seen it. For our Rebrickable build this week, it's a build onto set 75407, the minifigure display stand by Faraway Bricks. It's only 214 pieces, and it'll cost you $4 for the instructions. Now, it doesn't come with the Star Wars logo, but what it does come with is a section where you can place it in the middle, as well as a base section, and then above it is a Death Star and an X-Wing with a TIE Fighter as well. Now, once you put the display in there, the bottom section is used for minifigures, and it's been photoed with like Luke and Leia, Obi-Wan, C-3PO, R2-D2, Chewbacca, Han Solo, and Darth Vader. So you can put all the classic figures on there, kind of embodying the representation of, well, Star Wars. And having the logo with these is a great way to change it. I mean, I've been working on changing up display stands for a while now, as I continue to do so for the MIDI ship. So doing this for the logo, I think, adds an extra fun touch to it to have on your Lego Star Wars shelf. So you can find that in the description as well if you'd like to purchase those instructions over on Rebrickable. All right, everyone, thank you again for tuning in. And I'll sign off as I always do. Get creative, get out there, and go build something.